Welcome to Unsung Heroes with Johnny, Daniel, James, and Sam. Our goal is to leave no hero unsung. Welcome to the Unsung Heroes podcast. I'm Johnny, and I'm joined here with a few of my friends. We have James.
How's it going, guys?
We have Daniel.
Greetings!
And we have Samuel.
Hello there.
All right, and today we have a great episode. Samuel will be presenting for us, and he'll be telling us about a guy named Antonio Meucci, and I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'll go ahead and turn it over to Samuel to tell us about him.
Well, I should preface by saying neither do I, but...
Oh, come on, man. You're supposed to be the expert.
Hey, everyone take a gander. I think it's Antonio Meucci.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Let's just let Daniel say it every time.
Yeah, so anytime I say it, maybe I'll like snap my fingers.
Yeah. Oh, no, just give me the pause. I'll get it.
Okay.
Here, let's try it.
Okay, I am talking
Antonio Meucci. Never mind.
Perfect.
Samuel,
Perfect.
You just do your own thing.
We'll fix it in post. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Put in Mario's voice, like, over that.
All right. Well, to give you a little bit of an introduction, I have a little teaser trivia question for you. And here it is. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Who invented the telephone?
Antonio!
I believe it was Robert Telephone.
When he tried to speak to someone twice.
Who is Robert Telephone? It's not, well, so
it's
I guess
Bell.
the answer would be Graham Bell, or Graham Bell, however you say his name.
Yeah, you would think it's Alexander Graham Bell, but you would be wrong.
Scandal.
I did not see that coming.
Oh, I know. In fact, it was...
Antonio Meucci.
There we go.
Hey, it worked.
That's
nice.
it.
It worked.
Wow,
That's
you guys
it.
are already in sync.
That was perfect. Good job, man. So,
Thank you.
in fact,
Grazie.
even though we always give the credit to Alexander Graham Bell, as we're going to see in the next 40 minutes or so, that credit actually goes to Antonio Meucci. Sorry, I stole your thunder there.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I think we should just let Samuel say it.
Yeah, no,
I don't know. I
Yeah.
really think we should commit to this.
Yeah, I'm gonna take lead on that now. At this point,
Put the foot down.
yes, I'll put my foot down. But Antonio Meucci is an Italian-American inventor and engineer, and he's really the unsung hero who went about inventing the telephone. Very much an unsung hero because I've never heard of him. So.
Dang. Yeah, no,
Wow.
I've never heard of him either, because the analogy I was thinking of is who is it that, hold on, it's not Thomas Edison, is it? The
Tesla.
whole
Yes.
Oh, the
I think
Tesla
so.
and
It
Edison
is, right?
thing?
Like where hold on, you guys
I don't know what you're thinking of, but
isn't it like the light bulb that it wasn't actually
Yeah.
him, someone else had? What?
Oh, well, I mean, Edison did not invent the light bulb. He invented a sustainable light bulb that was actually, like, efficient. That was the difference, I think.
Yeah,
don't think it was- yeah.
Usually with history, like, for some reason, like, prototypes of the same device always seem to pop up around the same time.
Yeah.
So
right,
in some
zeitgeist.
ways, like, some people could argue that this is what's happening. As we're going to see later, there is a lot of controversy regarding whether or not Bell was the first person to invent the telephone. But a lot of people have kind of settled, if they've dived into the topic, they've decided Meucci was actually the first one to
Interesting.
invent the telephone.
You know, it's important to remember, I think, for a lot of inventions, they're never done in a vacuum, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense. Like,
Yeah.
people have to build upon so much previous knowledge.
Right.
They're never actually inventing something as if it just came out of thin air. I mean, think
Right.
about all the knowledge that we have and the skills that we learn today in our modern world. We only learn those in context of other previously done things. You know?
Right. So
Right.
it's like the things leading up to the invention of the telephone or the light bulb or whatever might have led the same, like, different people to make the same thing at the same time or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
The issue, though, is when one person looks at what another person is doing and says, I made this.
Ah.
You made this. I made this.
Yes, exactly. Which, as we'll see, will actually come up and become a little bit of an issue. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself at this point.
Oh
Interesting.
my.
No,
So-
yeah, I'm intrigued.
Well, I gotta say, the telephone was a great invention.
That's true.
I mean, think about how I literally just called James earlier today. So
I mean, technically, we're calling right now.
Right.
Right. I mean,
that's true.
That's a great example of how one used the telephone, John.
I called James.
wow.
Wow.
I thought you were reaching something really profound about it. I mean, just today I called James. So.
You know, one thing that's actually interesting, though, is the idea of a telephone. We hardly ever hear that nowadays. It's almost like the word telephone itself is becoming outdated. We use phones all the
You're
time.
so right, yeah.
But the idea of like actually using a telephone, I don't remember the last time I used like the full word telephone, or like that idea of like the phone on the wall, or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean with regard to like it being a landline going through poles,
Right,
like-
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's all cell phones now, so
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's just weird to us. Like, there will come a point when people will go to this podcast episode and think, a telephone? That, like, what does that even mean?
What is a telephone? I mean, it's like saying hang up the phone. Like, isn't it the whole idea that you would literally hang it up on the wall? So
Right,
with
yeah.
a cell phone, it doesn't really translate anymore, but we say it anyway.
Yeah, you're talking about that Reddit post, right?
Yeah.
Daniel?
Maybe. No, this is my original shower thought right there.
Oh,
Oh.
Daniel's pulling a Graham Bell, isn't he?
Great play.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to talking about Meucci and all that is involved with his life. So basically, to kind of kick this off, so Antonio Meucci, he was born in 1808 in Florence, Italy. Although at this point, I should mention that Italy did not exist at this point. There was no country of Italy. In Florence was kind of connected with this place called the Grand Duchy of Tuscany. So a little bit of a history lesson. Italy before, I don't remember the date specifically, but before the mid 1800s, Italy was divided by factions in basically different states, and it had been this way for a long time. So he was born in the Grand Duchy of Tuscany, and at the age of 15, Meucci decided to enter the Florence Academy of Fine Arts, which, I mean, obviously is in Florence, but just looking at that name, I want you guys just to guess what on earth could he study.
Well, in Italy, they are known for great painters, so painting maybe?
The history of the Medici family, maybe?
Yeah, well, I would think so in Florence. But seriously, like the Florence Academy of Fine Arts to study, he basically went in to study engineering, mechanics, and chemistry in the Academy of Fine Arts. Don't ask me how that ended up happening, but it did. So
Wow. So was that actually what was called fine arts, or was that like actually something that they also offered?
You know, I think it's probably the second one, that it was, they just offered all of these different degrees and it wasn't necessarily called fine arts. But that's my guess. I'm not exactly sure about that. But he goes into engineering, mechanics, chemistry. He does a little bit of drawing as well. And he's one of these guys, as we're going to see in the next several minutes, he's really one of these guys who is pretty much good at almost every single thing that he does. In fact, like he puts his hand in different fields and he always seems to make it work out for him. So he, like, for the next several years while he's studying, he begins to experiment with inventions. For example, at the age of 18, he invented a type of propellant that would improve fireworks. Which, a funny story with that, he actually had a run-in with the police because he was experimenting and sparks started going and burning people's dresses and catching fire to people's hair.
Yikes!
Was he like a party guy? Like,
Yeah, from what it sounds like, you would think so.
Wow. He worked hard, but he partied harder.
Exactly. But as well, he got involved as a stage technician while he was working in school. So he was working with the opera, kind of helping backstage in different areas. And when he was a little bit older in 1834, he developed an acoustic telephone system, so made out of pipes, kind of like you would see on ships or something like that, so that communication could happen between the stage and the control room. So, I mean, he was just very handy, very much able to, I don't know, pick up different objects and find a use for them in a sense.
Wow, I feel like that's a fairly like common theme among all our unsung heroes. Is at very early ages they were all like already remarkable in some things they did.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've definitely seen that as well. It's like, I just wonder what kind of creates that environment where people can flourish in this, in all of these different fields. You know what I mean? So, Meucci, while he's working in the theaters and in the opera backstage, he actually he meets his future wife Estere, which is the Italian word for the name Esther, and she's actually a costume designer backstage. So they meet and they get married.
It sounds a lot like how me and my wife met, actually.
Why I hear this story?
Well, we met doing theater as well, and she worked backstage and I was an actor. So it's, I guess you could call me a Renaissance man. So it's,
Therefore, I'm a Renaissance man.
we share one similarity.
Yes, exactly. So that's going to be another part of his life that will be important later on as well. And then the last big thing that he was really involved with when he was in Italy was he started to get involved in Italian politics. And he became a supporter of this idea of reunification. Like I said before, everybody was really divided. There wasn't a unified Italy at this point. So he started supporting it. And the people in power, obviously, if you hear somebody saying, hey, let's unify, and you have control of your little region, you're not going to like people saying, okay, let's team up.
Yeah, so when you say reunification, what you mean is like all those factions you were talking about, they're wanting to make it to one nation.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so at this point, so this might be an oversimplification, but think of all of these Italian states kind of like the EU nowadays, where they're independent of each other, but they kind of work together.
Kind of like how Athens and Sparta were quote unquote Greek, but they were their own city states.
Yes, that's actually a better analogy. But a lot of people, unlike the Spartans and Athenians, a lot of people in Italy at this point wanted to unite, and so Meucci was a part of this group. The Italian or the Florentine leaders were not appreciative of that, and so he was followed by the people in power, the police, and things like that. And at one point, in I believe 1834, he spent 3 months in prison.
Wow! So they arrested him for for supporting this cause?
Yes, they arrested him basically just for supporting this cause.
This wasn't firework related.
No, but actually, funny story. He did spend about a week in prison. This was like early on in his life. He failed. He spent like a week in prison because he failed to alert somebody of a missing plank where a plank usually is, and so the person walked into this little pit that had been used as like an outhouse.
Oh,
So he spent a week in prison. So
Wow.
I love that he got imprisoned.
He
for
just
that.
forgot to tell him. That's so funny.
I feel like this guy has like a slightly mischievous spirit about
Yeah.
him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, no, I just use that outhouse. Go ahead and use it, man. It's great.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
But anyway, so he spent a few months in prison, and after he gets out of prison, he's decided he's had enough of Florence. It's not working out for him in any sort. So, in 1835, Meucci and his wife, they decide that they're going to move. Of all places, they decide to move to Havana, Cuba, to work in the thriving Italian opera business.
Oh, wow.
interesting.
Ooh, nah, nah.
When I was doing the research, I was like, that is the most dated thing I've ever read.
Everyone knows today to go no further for opera than Havana.
Rome? No, I prefer my operas in Havana. I don't know why it's just British men who enjoy opera.
Havana.
Havana.
But they decide to move to Havana, and that actually works out really well for them. This seems to be a time of relative stability in the Meucci family. When they go to Cuba, he's able to find a pretty good job in the opera business. And so Meucci, with all of his free time and the wealth that he's starting to gain, he starts to explore different fields of study. And at this point, I kind of want to see what you guys think he would start exploring.
Well, so wait, so what has he studied so far?
Cat breeding.
What? So he studied at this point fireworks, and he studied stage technician, and he's done different inventions in like acoustics. He's done stuff in engineering, chemistry, mechanics.
So you're asking what else he would study at this point now?
Yeah, basically, what else do you think he could get into at this point?
Well, he never really tapped into those fine arts, I guess, besides being like a stage technician.
He will become the next great sculptor.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
the sculptor?
Yeah, I was gonna say the sculptor or the sculpture itself.
He's still there today in Cuba.
Did he get into agriculture?
That's actually a good guess. He did at one point, while he was in Cuba, he created a water purification system for the people in Havana.
Interesting.
So I guess
guy.
that works with agriculture. But agriculture was not his main area of work. It actually ended up being medicine. But this wasn't normal medicine. Basically, what he would do is he started trying to make different inventions to help people in this area of medicine and kind of physician work. The biggest one that he did was he started experimenting with electricity in an attempt to help people's migraines.
Oh no.
Oh, wow. Yikes.
Yeah,
I mean, I know there's some forms of technology where they'll like, shock you for things, but that sounds a little scary.
Yeah.
yeah. No, it gets worse once you like read about how he was doing this. He would use that shock therapy that you were mentioning, James, and he would use a bit of wire and he would put it over people's mouths.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like where this is going.
What's the next step, Sam?
Well,
Actually, maybe don't. Just,
yeah, I'll just leave that to your imagination at that point.
No, don't. No, not my imagination.
That's the worst.
Yeah, I feel
place.
like it's even worse. It could be anything from like, and then he like gave him a little shock to like, oh, he zapped their hair off, like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
he was using a little bit of shock therapy, so electricity was involved in some sort. But this is actually going to be really important for his development of the telephone.
Oh.
So if I zap a person like this, what if I zap something else?
What if I could connect this person's mouth to that person's ear
But metaphorically so.
with a wire?
Such a weird thing.
Oh,
This has
man.
gotten way out of hand. I'm sorry.
Oh no. Anyway, so this is how it relates basically to the telephone. One day, as he's working with a patient with this kind of wire therapy, I don't know what it is exactly, but he's working with wires and electricity, and he hears the voice of a patient through a copper wire.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah. Like, I don't think he was even intending for this to happen, but he just suddenly, like, somehow the electromagnetic waves or whatever is going on in there causes him to hear just a little faint noise of the patient. Just the
that's
voice of
cool.
the patient. Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
Was this the patient that did the patient have the wire contraption over his mouth? Is that how he was able to hear the patient? Or
Yeah, yes, I believe so.
wow,
So he is working with these shock therapies and probably working with migraines because that was the main thing that he tried to do with that.
right. So he's probably just giving people little shocks of electricity, but then somehow he has some kind of auditory response from someone's mouth. That's so interesting.
Right, exactly. So yeah, at that point he hears that, and I mean, I feel like I would do the same thing. He was just floored. He's just like completely amazed by what just happened. And as you would expect, this becomes his new obsession that he kind of tries to recreate, tries to figure out. But it will be a little bit before we get to him actually fully developing the telephone, because we have a little bit more political intrigue going on at this point too. So in 1850, he moves to New York City, moves out of Cuba, and he's moving to New York City basically once again. He's escaping the Spanish government because Spain owned Cuba at the time. And the Spanish government was not really happy about his voice and his perspective on politics, just his idea of the democracy and everything going on with that. Meucci is also a Freemason, so he definitely wasn't very popular in the eyes of the government.
Yeah. Wow.
And who are the Freemasons again, Sam?
The Freemasons are a secret society that everyone knows about.
That's like the best description I've ever heard of this.
No, but basically it's like I don't know. They have all these kind of secret rituals, and their whole thing is secrecy and kind of community in that sense. I don't know more details about it.
They're kind of like the Illuminati, but a little less cool.
Yeah, less conspiratorial, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was a Freemason. But anyway, he moves to New York, despite the fact that he barely has any English at this point. But after moving to New York, one of the first things he does is he begins, of all things, a candle company.
Ooh. Is it Serenity by Antonio?
I can imagine the commercial now. That's hilarious.
It's like one of his scents is the Italian firework,
The zippity zap.
the plank over the outhouse.
It smells like Freemasonry.
Smells of the Freemasons. That's funny.
It's like awful.
Oh my gosh.
we just came up with a whole new line of candles.
It just smells like nothing because it's a secret.
Wow.
One thing about this candle company that's actually pretty interesting is he decided to make this candle company in the candle factory with it because he's invented the first smokeless candle in America.
No way.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Am I going to learn right now that like all of our candles are currently smokeless and we just take it for granted that he also invented this? Or is that just like, was that just
This guy is just inventing things left and right. Wow.
seriously, no, this is what's amazing to me is that this guy, like we don't know about him, and yet he's behind a lot of different things. It gets even crazier in the next few seconds as well, because with this candle company, one of the people that he hired was a man named Giuseppe Garibaldi, and I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of that name before at all?
I don't think I have, no.
Yeah,
It's
or
close to
Garibaldi.
the
I'm not
Strait
sure.
of Gibraltar or whatever. But
Gibraltar. Close enough. So this guy, Garibaldi, he is known for being one of the most important figures in reunifying Italy. Like if you look in the history books of like how Italy became reunified, he is considered like the founding father.
Interesting. So he's like the George Washington of modern Italy. Is that kind of what you're
Actually,
saying?
yes, because he's considered also like one of the most important generals of like the 19th century.
Okay, cool.
Especially in
Wow.
Italian history, like this guy is a big deal.
So he hired him.
Isn't
then.
there a chocolate after that guy?
What?
Oh no, wait, that's Ghirardelli. Never mind.
I appreciate that you were trying to make a joke, Daniel, but we were all too dumb to get it.
Oh man. So he hires this man.
Wait, so he hires Garibaldi?
Yes. They were living in the States at the same time, both living on Staten Island, which is in New York. And he hires him and he starts like partnering with him with reunification, like promotions and recruitment and things like that in New York. So when Meucci goes to the States, he arrives in the States fairly wealthy, just because of the opera industry that he was working in. But as he gets to the States, he starts to give a lot of his money to Italian refugees who had migrated to the States. And then he also starts to give a lot of money to Garibaldi and his campaign and his followers as well.
Wow.
Just to promote what they're doing.
So he almost was like a patron or a benefactor to his people in a way.
Yes, very much so, especially at this point. But yeah, to kind of sum that up, he really, this is where his political side is. He starts to invest a lot of money into that. But to go back to the telephone, back to the kind of main invention that he's known for, if he's known for anything, really. So while he's going, all this is going on, he's working in the candle factory, supporting the campaign. In 1854, his wife became really sick with rheumatoid arthritis. And basically, she was confined to her bed basically for the rest of her life. Like she couldn't move out of her room at all. So in 1856, he develops what is called the teletrafono, which is basically a telephone prototype. And the reason he does this is amazing to me. The reason he does this is in order to communicate with his wife while he's in other parts of the house.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh.
So do you know how similar this prototype was to a telephone in the sense that we think of it, or maybe the sense that, Alexander Graham Bell developed?
Well, at this point, it would have been really basic. Over the next 15 years, he makes over 30 prototypes. So I'm assuming at each point he's kind of improving off the previous one. But basically, it would have been something really, really simple.
Yeah, so it's not just like a telegraph or anything, right? It would transfer his actual voice.
Yes, he could actually project his voice in another room through basically wiring and electromagnetism and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, to give you a picture of it, he would be working maybe on the first floor in his laboratory, and his wife would be up maybe on the second or third floor. And he would just go over to a little station and just start speaking into this prototype. And she could hear him, and I believe she could respond to him. But yeah, the details on the prototypes is really kind of iffy. We don't have too much information on what the prototypes look like. But the funny thing is, I told my wife about this guy in Meucci and the reason he made this telephone. And her first response, her reaction was, well, would you make a telephone for me if I was in a bed?
Ooh, this is where marriage is
was like-
tested, my friends.
Sam, that's when you say, "No, sweetie, I would just come into the room and talk to you in person. I love you so much."
This guy made a telephone just so he could
Stay away from
stay
his
away
wife.
from his wife.
But I told her I was not nearly as smart as this guy to be able to make that.
Yeah, that works too, Sam. That works too.
So at this point, like I said, over the next 15 years, he makes like over 30 prototypes of this telephone. Unfortunately, though, this is where things start to go downhill for Meucci, and this is where things are going to get a little sad, because by the early 1870s, so he's been in the States for probably about 15, 20 years now, but in the 1870s, early 1870s, his candle factory went bankrupt.
I guess that Liberty candle smell wasn't pulling too well.
Yes, it wasn't working out.
Was it bought out and renamed Yankee Candle?
And that's how we have.
If so, it's doing great.
Like, how many different things in the modern day can we connect back to Meucci? Like, how many?
Right.
All of them. So it went bankrupt. And so what he decides to do is he decides that this telephone business it has a lot of potential. So he tries to find people to support this business, but he's not able to get anybody behind it. Part of it was the financial situation of the previous one. Another thing was in 1871 he was in a ferry accident and he got like burns all over his body. Nearly killed him. And so financially, like, he lost a ton of money trying to recover from that. So he himself was about to go bankrupt at that point too.
So it honestly was due to these circumstances then that he was never able to capitalize on his telephone.
Yes, this is the start, at least. But it gets much worse because in order for Meucci to not be to not go bankrupt, his wife sold his prototypes to a pawn shop.
Oh no!
Wow.
And so he realizes what's going on. And so he, when he realizes that, he immediately goes to the pawn shop and tries to retrieve the prototypes and the notes that he had made on this over the past, like, however many years, 15, 20 years. And he goes to get them, and he finds out they've already been resold.
To Alexander Graham Bell. Oh, man. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that is tragic.
Yeah, that is really sad.
That's like
It is so tragic.
It's like a tragedy in a movie. Like, just painful.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, what do you even do at that point? Like, if you see, like, your life's, or at least your past 15 years' work is just been sold away, like, what on earth would you do?
Well, probably improve his communication skills with his wife. I mean,
Clearly, the telephone wasn't enough.
I think if he thought the telephone was compensating for him actually having to talk with her, like, or maybe she felt like he wasn't doing it enough, so she's like, "Nah, I'm done with this thing. This is going out."
Man, that sucks though. It's like all those years and nothing to show for it because he didn't even like make. I'm assuming like a single dime off of it because it's all just still.
Yeah,
in
and
the
he couldn't get
works.
any backers for his business.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, no. Actually, so he did at one point in 1871, he did get 3 other Italian friends of his to back him a little bit
Oh,
in like the lowest amount of backing a person can do. But with the 3 other Italians, they made it the Teletrafono company, and they told Meucci that he should patent the idea of the telephone. But at that point, he didn't have enough money to make a full patent because it cost about $250 at the time. So instead, what they decided to do is they decided to submit a patent caveat. And a patent caveat, it was basically like a reservation in a sense of a patent, like
patent pending kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. That's it. So it's like, I intend to make this, but I don't have the funds yet. So the issue with caveats though was they had to be renewed every year. And it cost money, about $20 every year, to keep holding on to the patent caveat. So, and then to make it even worse, when he submitted this caveat, Meucci didn't speak English well at all at that point, even though he'd been in the States for long enough. he didn't speak English well enough to make a good caveat. So even though he submitted it, it doesn't have like a good description of the telephone. It doesn't even mention like the electricity, the electromagnetism. It's just very basic. So like when legal issues would come up later,
Oh, no.
that was a major downside.
Wow. It just felt like he had so many things lined up against him in this whole scenario.
Really, he really did. Like, as I was reading this, it was just like one thing after another. And then to cap it off, within a year, his company dissolved. They lost the funding, and he lost funding for his caveat, so he had to take it back. So he no longer had anything on that, like no caveat, no patent at all. He approached what is called the Western Union Telegraph Company. He went to them for financing, but basically because he had lost all of his work to the pawn shop, he didn't have anything to show them, like no notes or papers or anything. And so as a result, the company said no thanks.
Oh, so I have a question, Samuel.
Yeah.
Do you know where that telephone prototype ended up from the pawn shop?
Well, I couldn't say for sure, but I will say this. 2 years later, this is 1876 at this point, guess who shows up on the scene?
Alexander Graham Bell.
There you go. All right. Now guess who he was financed by?
Don't tell me it was that Italian guy.
Garibaldi.
Yeah.
No.
That would be full circle, man.
No. He was financed by the Western Union Telegraph Company.
Oh boy.
How dare they? Hold on. What's the significance? I'm not.
No, because Daniel, because Antonio Meucci tried to get them to fund him, and they said no.
Oh, right. We just said,
Yeah.
yes, of course. I'm sorry.
They said no.
I just-
But here's the last one. Guess what the invention looks like?
the telefono.
Exactly.
Wow.
Guess what it shared similarities with?
The telefono.
Wait, you're saying
Yeah.
it shared similarities with the one that was sold to the pawn shop?
Yeah, basically the prototypes that Meucci had been making.
Interesting.
Oh my goodness, I'm about to flip some tables or something.
Johnny, you sounded anything but mad.
I am about to flip some tables right now.
So you and Meucci both, because when he sees that, he goes up to Alexander Graham Bell and he's like, I'm going to sue you. And then Bell isn't going to have any of that. So Bell says, I'm going to sue you.
No, you.
No, you.
So for the next 10 years, the lawsuit works its way all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Really?
Wait, what is Alexander Graham Bell sues Meucci? Well, why? For what?
Basically, it's a counter lawsuit of saying like, no, I didn't steal your invention.
Oh, like I'm suing you for unlawful suing of me.
I guess
I don't think
so.
that's how the government
Maybe
works.
like you know how people sue for what's the word
Defamation or-
whatever?
Oh, something like that, maybe.
So kind of like your suing has wrecked my I don't know
Yeah.
career or something. I don't know, maybe.
But basically, I mean, now one thing to note, like Meucci wasn't the only person to sue Bell. Like Bell was sued by everyone. Like there are several other people who say that Bell stole their ideas.
Was it about the telephone? They all sued him about the telephone, though.
Yes, about the telephone.
Interesting.
So we'll do unsung hero episodes about each one of them.
Exactly. We have to give justice to each one.
Just completely rebrand to unsung actual telephone creators.
Unsung telephonos.
Oh, man.
Unsung telephones.
But this is the biggest one. This is the one that kind of, like when people are looking back in history, this is the one that kind of mattered the most, it seems. And it even gets to the point where it looks like Meucci is going to win the case at some point. Like the tide was turning for him. But then 1889 struck and he dies.
No.
Wow.
And the crazy thing about this is it still takes about 10 years until the case is finally closed. And the worst part is it's closed undecided. Like they just
Wow.
close the case. They don't say anything about it. They're just like, we're gonna close this. We're not gonna tie up loose ends. And so
Man.
probably like 1897, I believe. That's when they just decide, all right, we're gonna drop this.
So how did he die, Sam?
I think he'd been battling health issues. I'm not sure exactly how he died, but it was like natural causes.
Oh yeah.
And it was over the course of several months.
How old was he at this point?
He would have been mental math. Let's see.
He was born in 1808, so he would have been 81, right?
He would have been 81.
No. Wait,
yeah, 81.
Yes, 81.
No, 71.
Man.
81?
71.
No, 1808 he was born. 81 years later would have been 1889. Yeah, so it
Okay.
would have been 81.
Okay, we'll stick with that. But basically, like the end of his life, he dies and he's left with absolutely nothing. Like he doesn't get the recognition, he doesn't get the wealth. He just dies and he's kind of forgotten about.
Man. So did he have any kids?
I did not see in the research. I didn't see whether or not he had kids, but his story did continue. And it continued, like people kept telling about Meucci and kind of bringing it back up. And in 2002, this is kind of to cap it off, the House of Representatives in the U.S., they published this resolution about Meucci. They say, I'm reading a quote here. It says, "The life and achievements of Antonio Meucci should be recognized, and his work in the invention of the telephone should be acknowledged."
Whoa.
I guess we're a part of that process, boys. Let's do it.
So I'm just following as a good citizen in the House of Representatives in their command. So people still don't really know about him.
Yeah, I mean, people still say Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone.
Yeah, I mean, I'd
Yeah.
never heard of his name once. That's incredible.
Yeah. That's really cool, Sam.
Yeah. It's a wild story. I'd never even heard of his name until like fairly recently.
Yeah.
And now like I feel like I'll have to be that one annoying guy at parties who says, actually, Meucci is the one.
Pushes up glasses. Actually.
Yeah. So
Well, why don't we all together be that annoying person at parties until everybody is the annoying person at parties, and then no one's the annoying person at parties
Ah, yeah.
because they'll all know.
Because
you
we
know?
won't go to party. Okay. Wow, well that's really cool though. Yeah, thanks so much, Sam. That was such a
Yeah,
great
thank you,
episode.
Sam.
yeah, absolutely. Now we can have something to rant about, you know?
Yeah,
That's
there
true,
you go.
yeah.
It's insane. Like I feel like all these unsung heroes are super cool people, and we think, how did we not hear about them? But especially when it's someone who's invented something that has been so pivotal in technology. It's
Yeah.
crazy that their name is just not really known.
That's true. There's a lot of things I think, like some people are vain for naming their inventions after themselves, but then I'm also like, yeah, but that's also kind of like how we remember them. Like the mason jar, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
It's named after the guy who invented it.
Yeah, or like Apple,
Yeah, after Tim Apple.
That's him out.
Yeah, but yeah, you know what I mean there, yeah.
Yeah.
But just to think about it, like, I don't know, I don't want to get too speculative, but Bell had so much going for him. Like, in terms of recognition, he got so much money from this telephone patent, which there's a lot of controversy. Some people still say that he invented it, and these guys just kind of did it individually. It's a very it's not as easy to say it's Meucci and not Bell. It's obviously history is more complicated than that. But you really can make a case for saying Meucci is the original creator of the telephone.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's hard to look back and say this person over that person invented it first or better, or this person stole that person's idea. It's possible that they did independently do these things, but well, that's really cool, Sam. Thanks so much for doing that research there and bringing to light this amazing guy.
It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, Yeah, James and I are going to start writing a song about him, so that'll be good.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
seriously.
very angsty song.
Very
Well,
angsty.
I don't know.
I think we should go screamo, kind of like.
I don't
get the-
think we could do that. Yeah. So stay tuned for that song. That should play right after this. So also go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Unsung Heroes Podcast, and we have a Facebook page as well. You can go ahead and head over there. And thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
As time goes on, his triumph is spoken. Few will know the truth of yours. Start your future across the sea. Work backstage to start again. One day, a voice came through copper wire. Your spirit set on fire, but not in time. If only you put it back in time. After everything you tried, still not right. Confined and ill, she's not alone. But your love can speak through walls. File your patent, but no one bought in. Your work on hold and money spent. One day, a voice came through copper wire. Your spirit set on fire, but not in time. If only you put it back in time. After everything you tried, still not right.